Hi, a very good evening to all of you. Today we are going to see a particular question, and this is a real IELTS examination question which was asked in Australia for the pen and paper test today. That's 9 April 2022. So it's an opinion question. Although there is a lot of translation software available, learning a language still could be advantageous, despite the availability of software technology that allows people to interact between each other. So even though you are not a multilinguistic, you can communicate with a person far from your country in another corner of your country with the help of language translation softwares. So this is what the situation. In this situation, uh, if you learn a language, it still prove advantages. Do you agree? Most of the students will definitely agree to this thing because learning a language is always advantageous. So I pursue that 99% of the students in the real examination, they would go for agree. Yes, it is beneficial. So we are going in another way that we are discussing that it is unnecessary, it's not essential, it's not advantageous. So that's what we are going to prove. We are not going with the majority, those who agree with this statement. It is easy to prove it is agree. Okay, it is beneficial in many ways. It is advantageous in many ways. You can prove it very easily. But let us see in the opposite way too, because we have both the options. We can agree as well as disagree. It's rational to have both sides. If you have points to prove that you disagree, you can say disagree. And this is what the way we are going to discuss this as a. Now, it's argued that learning a language is advantageous, although modern technology presents us with a lot of translation software. So when we see the first particular sentence, it is rephrasing the first particular sentence of the statement part of the question. It is the same sentence we have reproduced, but we have not copied that particular sentence here. We just have rephrase that particular sentence there. And now that's the opinion comes, the thesis part comes. I feel it is not essential to learn a foreign language today, except in certain circumstances. Except in certain circumstances, it's not essential. Now, I need to say it is not beneficial. So if I change the word essential to beneficial, then I become more accurate to the point. So I have said it is not beneficial to learn. If I feel it is not beneficial to learn a foreign language today, except in certain circumstances, it's not beneficial. It's not beneficial. Okay, so the advantages that you are going to point out, it's not, I'm not going to see that it's something serious. And I feel that, no, it's not advantageous. It's not, I don't consider those things as advantages. So this is what I need to prove. Because most of the candidates, they say that I agree to this statement, because if you learn a second language or a foreign language, it gives you that this thing, you have a lot of points to say. But I personally feel that those benefits, I don't consider those benefits as benefits. That's what I'm going to say here. Now let us move forward. The first reason why I think so, because of the fact that the time and effort which a person is likely to consume for learning a foreign language, you know that that I don't feel it is beneficial, because we need to consume a lot of time, we need to consume a lot of energy on learning another language. It was necessary. You are wasting you're wasting a lot of time, you're wasting a lot of effort, your energy there. It's because of the fact that the time and effort which a person is likely to waste for learning another language. In the past, people traveled less, and wherever they went, they had to learn local language because they had to stay those places for a long time. So when people traveled in the previous era, they stayed there long, they learned the language, they mingled with the culture, all these things. Therefore, even if they struggle to understand the language in the beginning, in the long run, it proved beneficial for them to absorb the essence of the local culture. They understood the local culture, even though it was difficult for them to understand a totally different language. They could absorb the essence of local culture. This was a benefit there in the past. But situations are entirely different today as people travel more frequently to multiple destinations in a short span of time. Now, people travel today from France to Germany, Germany to London, London to Sydney. So we have frequent travelers here. See, for example, these are English-speaking countries. Some people travel from continents to continents. They travel from Asia to Africa, Africa to South America. So these things also can happen. Multi-linguistic language travel will be there. So although it is logical to learn a global language with which a person can make communication easy in these places, it is both impractical and futile to be multilinguistic today. Now, you know that as you are traveling to a lot of places within a short span of time, it is logical to, it is understandable that you are going to, if you are learning a global language, that is beneficial for you. But if you are learning each and every language of the countries which you are visiting, it is futile. It is impractical. No, you don't have any benefits there. It is time consuming. It consumes your energy. No, it's totally a waste. This is what we are going to say in the first particular paragraph. The second particular paragraph is that is the cutting edge. Is the cutting edge technology which has made easy for a person to communicate with another whose language is entirely different. I can communicate with a person in Africa who is speaking his local language, and I can speak to a person in Korea. So both these things are possible for me with a language translator. I can communicate with a person who is speaking Mandarin Chinese, as well as I can communicate with a person who is speaking Arab. So, I mean Arabic. So this is possible. This cutting edge technology has made it's faster and accurate than an interpreter. Most often it happens. And this is what we can say in the second particular paragraph. And this popularity of these applications are rocketing. Now that we have a lot of applications coming up every day, we have language translation applications here. Better and better applications are coming each day, and it's becoming popular and popular. So in the past, it was necessary, but at present, it's not necessary. Now we have better technology, which gives you faster and accurate translating services than a real interpreter. So we can say that learning another language is not that much advantageous. But I admit that learning any language can help a person to understand the real culture of those people who speak it. Yes, you can do that. This can strengthen the relationship between the native speakers too. Okay, I can say. So when you understand the real culture of those people who speak it, that can strengthen your relationship with the native speakers there. Can also help people in case of any technical failure, that if your device is not working, you better know a language so you can communicate to them easily. To conclude, no, I have the last sentence left out there. This appears to be beneficial only to a minute segment of global population. Now, if I am moving to a place and stays there longer, I need to communicate with them longer time. I need to stay with them. I need to have a frequent communication. So it is beneficial. But for majority of the people, this is absolutely a waste. But we don't need that, actually. So it's advantageous to some people, those who really want to mingle with the culture, to learn this tradition, all these things. It is okay for them to do that. It helps to make the relationship stronger with those people. And in case of technical errors, also it can help. But majority of these cases, most of the circumstances, I don't feel that is advantageous. It is unnecessary. It is time consuming. It is energy consuming. Yes, we do have the cutting edge technology intact, so it is unnecessary for a person to learn. So it's not that much beneficial as you think. That's what we presented that thing here. And that is the end of this explanation here. Thank you.